I'm Bill Burrus, President of the American Postal Workers Union, and I want to talk to you today about issues important to you as a postal worker and important to the American public. The President's Commission on the United States Postal Service has delivered its report to President Bush, and their recommendations confirm our worst expectations. Simply put, the Commission has declared war on postal workers and postal consumers. If enacted into law, the Commission's proposals would have a devastating effect on your jobs, your pay, your health benefits, your retirement, and your collective bargaining rights. They would also drastically reduce the level of service the American people have come to expect from the United States Postal Service. Fortunately, the Commission's proposal cannot take effect unless Congress passes legislation. We expect bills to be introduced and hearings held later this year. The APWU must embark on a full-fledged campaign to persuade Congress and the American people that the Commission's plans are bad for the Postal Service, bad for consumers, and bad for postal workers. We cannot win this battle without you. Following are some of the Commission's most regressive recommendations and what they will mean for postal workers. The Commission proposes giving control over wages to a powerful regulatory board appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate. If this board determines that postal workers earn more than similar employees in the private sector, it will put a cap on pay for new employees and reduce the pay of current workers.
If the Postal Regulatory Board does determine that current employees receive a compensation premium, including wages and benefits, our recommendation would result in a two-tier system whereby new employee compensation would be limited by the Postal Regulatory Board and current employee compensation would be expected to reach comparability over a defined period of time.
The Commission also recommends eliminating the no layoff clause and with it, your job security. This report included many buzzwords such as private sector partnership, work sharing, and outsourcing to disguise their real intention, the stealth privatization of everything but mail delivery. Although the Commission said it rejected privatization, it recommends massive contracting out.
The subcommittee encourages the Postal Service to consider outsourcing local transportation, processing, vehicle maintenance, management of the information technology systems, the real estate management, and other services that we consider to be incidental to the delivery of the mail. The subcommittee believes that the Postal Service should take advantage of the momentum they've got in this area and clearly establish defined annual targets for moving a greater percentage of postal transactions out of the post office to less expensive and more accessible retail outlets.
The Commission has proposed that the President appoint a special panel to choose which mail processing plants should be closed and consolidated. This panel would prepare a list of facilities, and the decision would be final unless Congress rejects the entire list. Such an approach is designed to stifle the objections of workers, citizens, and elected officials whose plants are targeted.
There is tremendous excess capacity. We need not only to reduce the number of facilities, we need to, as many witnesses have pointed out, to rationalize and standardize them to a far greater extent than they are currently done. This is difficult to do, not principally because of the economics, but because of the politics of closing facilities one by one, and that the Congress would have to act on that all or nothing.
The proposals would remove postal workers from the federal health, retirement, and workers' compensation programs, and they would require the union to bargain over these benefits, which are currently guaranteed by law.
Many fringe benefits are effectively removed from the collective bargaining process today, and this has forced contract negotiators and arbitrators to limit their efforts to address pay comparability to wages alone. We believe that all wage and benefit components should be considered in the collective bargaining process.
The Commission claims it wants to improve the collective bargaining process by changing the ground rules. It proposes reducing the time period for negotiations, require mediation, and employ what is known as a last best final offer mechanism when negotiations stall. This procedure would require an arbitrator to choose between the union and management's last offer in negotiations. Each of these proposals would be a disaster for postal workers. But postal workers are not the only targets of this presidential commission. The commissioners also recommended giving the Postal Service the power to close local post offices without citizen involvement. This could have a devastating impact on small businesses and rural communities. While they express a desire to maintain universal service, they would give political appointees on the new regulatory board the power to review and refine the scope of universal service and clarify and refine the postal mail monopoly. Make no mistake about it, these recommendations would cut mail services for the American people. This report is fundamentally dishonest. The commissioners claim they want to improve the collective bargaining process, but they would actually destroy it. They assert they want to improve service, but they propose making it easier to close local post offices and suggest that universal service should be reviewed and refined. They declare they want to make the Postal Service economically viable, but they favor expanding discounts for the mailing industry. In short, we got exactly what was expected: a set of recommendations that serves the mailing industry at the expense of postal workers and the American public. Our fight now moves to Capitol Hill, and winning this battle will require your support. President Bush's commission has declared war on postal workers and on postal customers. We must wage our fight with every fiber of our being to protect our jobs, our benefits, and our honor as working people. Please get involved. See your local president to find out more about what you can do to help. In the struggles ahead, APWU will lead the fight to preserve your dignity as a postal worker. But now, more than ever, it's your fight too. Thank you.